All right, we are just wrapping up week 4, season 7 of The Biggest Transformation, the alumni versus the newbies. And through the first several weeks of the competition, the newbies have kind of been womping on the alumni. So let's get on the scale, see how everybody did, and see how who's going to be in the lead this week.
Bianca Ibarra, 172.8.
Carmen Afia, 177.2.
Star, 137.6.
Strickland, 155.2.
Heather Ann, 175.
Catherine, 216.8.
Trisha, 223.
Stacy, 239.4.
Odessa Eliho, 172.3.
Judy Simpson, 149.2.
Paula, 161.1.
All right, we have some standings. In 12th place, in the past 4 weeks, down 7.2 pounds, 3.12%, Trisha. In 11th place, down 6.5 pounds, 3.87%, Paula. In 10th place, down 6.5 pounds, 4.01%, Jennifer. In 9th place, down 8.3 pounds, 4.57%, Bianca. In 8th place, down 8.5 pounds, 4.7%, Odessa. In 7th place, down 9 pounds, 4.83%, Afia. In 6th place, down 9.6 pounds, 5.2%, Heather. In 5th place, down 7.9 pounds, 5.42%, Mary Star. In 4th place, down 17.4 pounds, 5.89%, Jewel. In 3rd place, down 13.6 pounds, 5.9%, Catherine. In 2nd place, down 16.2 pounds, 6.33%, Stacy. Which means in 1st place, down 12.4 pounds, 7.67%, Judy! Judy taking over the 1st place spot tonight.
I'm sorry, Stacy. Thank you. Thank you.
No, she's not. She's kicking butt.
That's great. Good job, Judy.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations. That's amazing. And this week, the alumni have lost 55.2 pounds, a total of 4.39%. The newbies have lost 67.9 pounds for a total of 6.04%. So newbies are about 1.6% ahead of the alumni. So first we form our habits and then they form us. And our life, our body, our health is a culmination of our habits, And habits, these are the things that we do without even thinking. So, when you're making your kids lunch and you pop a pretzel in your mouth and you didn't even have to think about doing it, that's because it's been a habit for you just to, oh, it's there, I'm going to eat it. And most of us that are fluffy have that habit, right? Like we don't even eat things a lot of times because they taste amazing. We eat things because we just have a habit of shoving things in our mouth. We have a habit of eating. So our health is a direct result of our habits, our health habits. Okay. And which means if we are overweight, what kind of habits do we have?
Bad ones.
Yes. If we're morbidly obese, I'm sorry, so that's if we're overweight. If we're obese, that means we have obese habits. If we're morbidly obese, which is the land I come from, that means I had morbidly obese habits. And the worst thing anybody can do is be in denial about that. And so often I'll start working with a client and they'll be overweight, obese, morbidly obese, but they're still living in the fantasy land that they have healthy habits. Well, Carmen, no, I eat really healthy. I don't eat any of the processed food. Okay, well, you still have an overweight habit of overeating if that's true. Or you're just lying. Either way, it's not good, right? And so none of us wind up overweight without overweight habits. And it's coming to that truth. And it doesn't, we live in this world, this social media highlight reel world where we like to fake things and we like to pretend and that we've got it all together, but that never helps you get to where you want to go. And I'm not judging. I used to do it. Like I so did it. Secret eating, going out to dinner, ordering a salad, and then on the way home, going through McDonald's or, boxing up my leftovers because I was full. And then I get home and as soon as nobody's around, I bust open the to-go container and I'm eating them all those things, right? And anyway, having a crappy marriage and people being like, hey, how's your marriage going? It's amazing. He's awesome. And you want to kill him. I mean, not really. I never really wanted to kill him, but we certainly were happy and when I was saying those things. And so we live in this world, the whole fake it till you make it, the whole, and listen, it's a fine line because I would always rather see a fake smile than a sincere grin, always. But because we live in this highlight reel social media world, sometimes it can perpetuate denial, right? And so it's coming to terms with, okay, no, what habits, if our health isn't where we want it to be, we can trace it back to habits that we have that are there. And so if we look at a definition of a habit, it's a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. It's a fixed way of thinking, willing, or feeling acquired through previous repetition of a mental experience. So creating new habits is all about a mental repetition of a mental experience, which is a decision. The mental experience of making a decision of this is how I'm going to react in this situation. This is how I'm going to handle this situation. And when we talked a couple weeks ago, where we talked about the triggers, we talked about making a list of here's my trigger. Here's how I currently have been reacting. Here's how I'm going to react the next time it happens. And for those of you that actually followed directions and did that, you have the start of a playbook. And every successful team has a playbook. And it's basic. And for you, you're coming up with your health playbook, right? How am I going to succeed at health? How am I going to live my best life? How am I going to beat the odds and not wind up unhealthy, no energy, all the things that come with that. When it comes to our eating habits, what our eating habits are show up on our backside, because what we eat in private shows up in public. And it's so funny because I think every person that's ever really struggled with their weight has battled with secret eating. And it's so funny that we secret eat because like the consequence of secret eating is a bigger butt, a bigger waist, bigger arms, right? Like that, there's a consequence that, like, it's really not that secret. Like people know, right? People can look at us and be like, oh, there is, and I've had clients that were, or even friends that were overweight. And I've heard other friends say, Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe maybe they have a thyroid problem because they eat so healthy. Like they never overeat. And I'm thinking, yeah, not in front of you. They don't. And here's the most amazing part about habits is you can change them. Like you can get rid of a bad habit. But the only way to keep a bad habit gone is to actually replace it with a good one. So it's getting rid of the bad habit. So first, a couple things when it comes to habits, right? So we have to figure out first and foremost, what is the goal that we want to look at for our health? Where do we want to be? Okay. Where do we want to be? So my goal was 127 pounds. I wanted to be a fit mom with lots of energy that could walk down a beach in a bikini with blonde hair. That was my goal. Okay. Doesn't have to be your goal. That was just my goal. And so then it was, okay, if that's the goal, I'm making a list of habits that I have that are taking me further away from that goal. So a habit of not meal planning, a habit of winging it, a habit of not eating in the morning at all. I wouldn't eat in the morning like at all. I wouldn't drink any water at all in the morning. Like a habit of mindless snacking, a habit of taking bites and just putting them in my mouth without thinking. Not bites, by the way, not putting bites in my mouth because they tasted good, just because the food was there and I was cooking. So looking at all the habits that were not getting me closer to my goal. Somewhere when I learned about habits, and I learned about, like, if I want to become this, if I want to make $1 million, if I want to have a healthy body, if I want to have a good marriage, if I want to be a good mother, if I want to be a best-selling author, if I want to be a speaker, if I want to be #1 inside of my company, if I want to lose 100 pounds, no matter what it is, I have to make sure my habits line up with where I want to go. If not, you're going to be you ever heard of those singers? What do they call them? A one-hit wonder? Where they have a song that's popular and then no one ever saw them again because they disappeared off the planet. If you don't have the habits that support your goals are never gonna be able to maintain them. The only way you can maintain your goals once achieving them is your habits. They are what's going to help you keep them. I was like, no, if I want to succeed at this, first off, what time am I getting up? What time am I working out? Because nobody plans to fail, but almost everybody does fail because they don't plan to succeed, is the truth. They don't plan. And a non-plan is a plan to fail. Not planning is a plan to fail. And so my first couple of weeks, I created a habit of working out whenever I wanted to. Work out sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes in the evening. And then I was like, Carmen, what are you doing? No, you're going to create a habit of what is your actually workout time? And so I created a workout time. I created a time I was going to get up, a time I was going to work out. And so I started writing that out, meal prep. So I was going to meal prep on, Saturday or Sunday, whatever that day was. I was going to go grocery shopping. So I was putting more of a structured plan into my health. Instead of just winging it, instead of it being a hope and a prayer, and I'm going to throw a bunch of crap against the wall and hoping something sticks. No, I put it on paper. I started making a plan to help me succeed. And I started thinking about, if I want to be this goal, what habits do I need? Not allowing myself to say anything negative about the food I was eating, about the working out, about my lack of sleep, looking at where I want to be and what habits do I need. In certain seasons, it's been to not complain about the way people clean or don't clean in our house, because I see a lot of details. So if somebody goes to clean the kitchen, I'm going to walk in and see the crumbs. I'm going to walk in and see all the things that they didn't do. If I open my dishwasher, it's never correct. My standards, right? So I'm just giving you guys different examples of, So I went through a season where one of the habits I needed to change was to encourage someone doing something, not finding fault in what they did do. Does that make sense? So there's lots of different habits. We're obviously just talking about the health ones because that's what you guys are here for. But literally, I use this habit tracker in every area of my life. Any area I want to succeed, my marriage, my parenting, our finances. When I wanted to, listen, in my 20s, my husband and I, we made millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. By the age of 25, I had a company doing more than $9 million in revenue a year. My company. And I had nothing. I spent it all. We had a limo driver on call that knew our names. And when we wanted a stretch limo for a date night, they'd have all of our favorite beverages stocked in it. Why? Because I had a habit of spending money. And I had a habit of spending everything we made. And a lot of you do too. A lot of you do too. You're like, no, on Carmen. Yeah. Financial independence has nothing to do with how much you make, it's how much you keep. So my point is, like, I had to change the way I spent if I wanted to ever have financial independence. So we've used this for our finances. I had to become a good saver instead of a good spender because I spent everything I had when I was broke. So when I started making money, I still have that same habit. I just spent bigger. So,
well, I actually do have a habit tracker, but I haven't made a habit of using it. So I'm going to do that. I, off the top of my head, know that a big one for me would be working out whenever I feel like it or when I feel like is a perfect time. And that time never really comes. So something that I've been wanting to do more is have dedicated workout time. And for me, I think that would be around 8 a.m. when the children are eating breakfast, and it usually takes them 30 minutes anyway. So yeah, I definitely want to have dedicated workout time because there's been times where this is a perfect time and I feel like doing this never comes, and then I end up having to work out on a Sunday. So yeah, that would definitely be a goal that I want to achieve.
Okay, so one of the things that I need to stop doing is wasting time. Like I lollygag from the time I wake up to getting to my energize, getting to workout. Sometimes energize will go all the way and an hour's gone by and I'm not to my workout. So there's times in my day where I waste time and then it stresses me out because I'm behind in other things or I miss a homeschool subject or things like that with my kids. So that's my main habit that I need to stop. But even before that is the sleep routine that gets me up at the same time every day and gets me the 7 hours of sleep, because that is the foundation of me being a good mom, is those plus 7 hours of sleep. I figured that out through these 4 weeks, and that has to be the number one thing. And number two would be stop wasting time, like move faster, get my clothes out, energize 20, working out, done. That's it.
Hi. Hi, Kitty. My bad habit is staying up late. I've really been struggling with staying asleep if I go to bed at a reasonable hour. So I need to get that piece of the puzzle figured out. And one of the ways that I plan to do that is the thing that I need to start doing, which is take my supplements.
So mine is kind of along the lines of Mary Starr, procrastinating in the morning and just dragging everything out so bad with an excuse. Well, it's my time with my husband and he's just sitting there doing, his morning, zone out on the TV. So we're not really actually doing anything anyway. So that procrastination has to stop. And the first thing that I know that I need to do in order to make that go away is to plan the night before. So if I have my whole, like the night before I go to bed, if I have the whole day planned out the next day, it runs so much more smoothly.
So instead of habit stacking, one thing that I do is I stack all the things that I need to do. So I have a bad habit of not knowing how to say no and overcommitting myself and overcommitting my family, overcommitting myself at work, and oh, I'll take care of that, or I'll do that. And so you can't see it, but I have a whiteboard to my left that has like all of the tasks that I need to get done. And it's a huge whiteboard and it's completely filled up. And so that's one of the things that I have to stop doing. I need to get better at saying no. And really, I think one of the things that delves into what I need to start doing is prioritizing what I can do, what I can't do. And then really saying, these are the top 3 things that I need to get done today, zero in on those 3 things, knock them off my list, and then the next day I can continue to get my list of things done. So.
Yeah, I can relate to Strickland, Mary Star, and Afia. I was writing down similar stuff before they said it, but it's just having too much on my plate, way over capacity, allowing too many people to have access to me and not saying no, and then having a schedule of trying to do all this in one day. And then sometimes it leads to procrastination. I've really got to write a schedule and stick to it. Because my last season, I was downstairs no later than 8 a.m. And now I'm finding I'm not getting workouts done till 11 a.m. or 2 p.m. I've taken my Energize like at 9 a.m. And so the workout's not that good. And it's just, I got to figure out, I'm just spinning right now. So it's not good. So, and it's definitely, I got to say no to my adult children. It's not funny, but it's just not good.
The one thing that absolutely is like huge is my lack of sleep, and then sleeping too late in the morning. And then that rolls into not getting my workout done when I really want to get it done. So in order to fix that, I need to set my alarm and just get up when the alarm goes off. And I might be tired as hell that day, but I've just got to get it. You know, I mean, once I start getting up super early, I'm going to be more tired at night. So I'll be able to sleep better.
This is going to be a big shocker to hear. So Carmen, brace yourself. So I have a tendency to overcommit, which leads to my also banned word of the OC, which is called me saying I'm over capacity. And then that leads to me being a sense of being self-sacrifice that I do every time, in the form of something I learned from the news last week called revenge sleep, which is where you don't feel like you're deserving of sleep because you have this laundry list of a whiteboard of things to do, like Afia said, except for I don't write down the things that I commit to because I feel like lists sometimes are an example of things, like it's a constant reminder of things that I have to do. So I just keep it in my head and try to manage it. And I don't sleep. I think there was probably several times over the last week and a half that I slept less than an hour a night and then proceeded to do a 12 or 14 hour right after, followed by a 4-hour, nap, I would call it, and not stopping. And it's just not healthy overall. It doesn't lead me to be a good member to my family, a good mother, a good business owner, or anything like that, because I'm constantly. So obviously, Walker, my thing is that I am deserving of 6 hours of sleep. And I know 6 hours is probably not enough, but I think 6 hours is a lot. Consistently having 6 hours of sleep for me is better than what I've allowed myself to do. Things are starting, going to really challenge myself for the next 31 days to give myself the permission to have 6 hours of consistent sleep and really track that consistently.
So kind of along the lines of what everybody's been saying, I think sleep is my number one thing. I wake up usually around 4 o'clock in the morning. My work start time's at 6:30. So I haven't been getting to sleep. The time that I'm supposed to be getting to sleep, I actually bought at the start of this journey. It's called an Aura ring. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's like a sleep tracker. I actually had to return it because I was getting really bad skin irritation, just because I think at work I wash my hands a lot. But I didn't want to look at I didn't want to look at my sleep. I didn't want to look at my readiness score because it was telling me like, hey, you're not getting enough sleep. I'm like, yeah, I know I'm not getting enough sleep. That's why I bought you. So yeah, so that kind of like sleep, it does affect a lot because I've been trying to maintain getting up early to do my workouts, so I have it done already, so it's just one thing checked off. But because of that, like I haven't been sleeping at the time that I'm supposed to. I tell myself like I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and yeah, I do have a lot going on throughout the day, but yeah, I have to be very mindful of that and actually face the reality and kind of face it full force and not try to run away from it. So that is at least 7 hours for me would be okay. So
Okay, mine would have to be the for some reason I love to cook and I don't mind going to the grocery store, but I have this mental thing about meal prepping. And I just think it's in, and I just think, oh, I'll wing it. It'll be okay. I'm just going to throw this together. And instead, if I would meal prep, actually life would probably be a lot easier because I'm on the road and then I come home. I don't know what it is about meal prepping. I hate routine. So there's something about having this stuff all set. It's almost, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to try this week to make menus and meal prep and make life a little bit easier, especially when this program is over. I want to keep going in that direction. And it's so easy. I mean, if you look in my refrigerator now, it's just stuff. I mean, it's healthy, but it's everywhere. So I'm thinking I really need to let go of the winging it thing and really get down to this meal prep. I think it would make things easier.
Awesome job. So just a couple things. So you said in there, if we go back to last week, life and death and the power of the tongue, you said, I hate meal prepping. And so I'm just going to pull this one little example out because as long as your truth is, I hate meal prepping, guess what you will continue to hate? Meal prepping. Until you choose to love it and you choose to own it. When you start saying, I love meal prepping is when you'll start loving it. When you stop saying I hate it is when you'll stop hating it. Do you guys ever watch what was that show called where they could phone a friend? What was that show called?
Secret Millionaire?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Do you want to be a millionaire? Yeah.
So I just phoned a friend. I got to show you guys something. So this is my husband. I literally just called him and said, could you please come here? So something else I've heard like 5 of you say tonight. And so they're using the T word, not the tired word, but the try word. So, okay. He already knows. So your freaking life is so, life and death is in the power of your tongue. And when you say, I try, your brain automatically knows you're not going to try. It's just, you're just prolonging the inevitable of you're just going to fail. So my husband is stronger than me. He's bigger than me. His arms are so big. He's been working out like more than me for the first time in our entire life. And he's so muscular. Okay. You want to show me your arms?
Sure.
Okay, you do this. Okay. So he's going to hold his arms. Hold on. I got to get some leverage. I got to stand up for this.
I gotta use my dominant arm.
All right. So he's gonna, I'm gonna, No. He's going to say, I will try to love my wife. Okay. And I'm going to try to pull his fingers apart when he says, I will try to love my wife. You ready? You ready? I'm ready. You ready?
You're not going to believe this, so you need to go try it with your spouses.
Oh yeah, you can go to this with your spouse as well, your kids, whoever. This works with my 10-year-old son. All right, ready? Go.
I will try to love Carmen.
Okay. Now, say I will try to love Carmen.
Okay. I will try to love Carmen.
My working out muscle husband, you see? You see?
No, try it again. I will love Carmen. Ready?
Now say, I will love Carmen. I do love Carmen.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, say.
Wait, no. You got to get more leverage on there. You got to get in there like you did
Oh,
last
you
time.
want me to get 2 fingers in there? Okay,
Yeah.
say it again.
I will love Carmen.
I will try to love Carmen. 1 finger. I'm gonna do it 1 finger. Go ahead.
Yeah, do it one finger. I will try to love.
Oh, look at that. It's because your brain freaky knows when you say I'm gonna try.
Leave me alone.
Thanks, baby. So when you're like, I'm gonna try to get some sleep, I'm gonna try to meal plan, your brain knows you're full of caca. But it's when you say, I will do my best, I love, not I will try to love my wife, I love my wife. Not I will try to get some sleep, I will get some sleep. I'm gonna try to lose the weight, I'm losing the weight. Are you with me? Okay, moving on. But are you guys getting the point? Okay. This week, as we are coming into week 5, it's really taking a look at what are those habits that have kept us stuck? What are those habits that need to go? And what are the habits that we are going to start diligently working on, diligently making a priority so that this is the year that we stop talking about the health we want and our life starts becoming fruit of it. That we wouldn't just be people that walk the walk, that we would be a people that actually talk the talk. That 1 year from today, you would no longer be the person that's going to everybody else and saying how, but you would be the person that everybody else is coming to saying how. How have you done this? How have you transformed your life? How have you transformed your body? I thought your husband got a divorce and married somebody else because I did not recognize you. That you would build the health that you want. And that's what's on the other side of doing this work that we're doing this week.